What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about Faraday Future. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Faraday is down slightly, 2.64%, rather low volume, so 14.2 million shares being traded, 106.6 is the average. So that's been more of a common occurrence over the last several trading days. It's just very low volume. So you do have institutions still largely overlooking Faraday. No doubtably, they're waiting for some concrete operational updates, or either just UAE deal, bridge news, official something to come out to justify for them to buy. So last transactions did occur on the 23rd and the 16th for 147 and then 226. So definitely news needs to come out sooner rather than later. But when it comes down to the volume, like I said, with it being as low as it has been, that just increases the manipulation. So for the most part, on a typical day, majority of the volume is done by algorithmic trading as well as shorting. This was posted on the Faraday Reddit page by Suitable Reserve. So we kind of post a link right here, which does show the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ's most heavily shorted stocks, and Faraday is number 3. Also kind of goes over 6 points how to determine and detect naked short trades. So kind of just read through that, and based on Faraday, it does kind of hit most of those marks. So once again, letting you know about that. But yeah, as far as it being the 3rd most heavily shorted stock is interesting, right? So keep in mind, when I'm bringing up this information, that does not encumber naked shorting. So there's no real way to track naked shorting with the exception of FTDs. So that kind of gives the best insight. So once again, once I go over Ortex, same as Fintel, it does not track naked shorting through this. Right now, it does indicate 333,000 shares are being returned, or now 359, but 7.79% of the free floats being shorted works out to be 34.08 million shares. Utilization 64.17, and then short score is 64.02. So the harder the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening. As of today, there's been no news from Faraday, nothing on any of their socials, and so it's kind of just stuck in limbo waiting for their upcoming shareholder meeting, which is on the 31st, and that is a very big deal for Faraday, as I've kind of pointed out in previous videos. I just want to point this out as well. So the SEC did charge short seller Andrew Left and his firm, obviously I think that are more commonly and famously, I don't know if you want to call it that, known for shorting GameStop and openly saying that. So it looks like they are charged roughly around 20 million for scheme to defraud followers by publishing false and misleading statements regarding his supposed stock trading recommendations. So yeah, SEC, they don't really do all that much that often, but they do. So once again, as I kind of mentioned in previous videos, it'd be really nice if Faraday came out and voluntarily gave us an update on kind of the naked shorting, because they did mention in December that they hired Share Intel. Actually, sorry, I think it was October. They gave a follow-up update saying that they are proceeding to step and phase number 2 in December. So logically, there might be a lawsuit coming against whoever's against, and kind of causing a lot of this manipulation and just market schemes and stuff like that. So it'd be really good if Faraday did that, because whenever a company does typically announce one of those lawsuits, stock price tends to go up. So hopefully that does come out sooner rather than later. Anyone in contact with any members from Faraday, just maybe give them a nice little nudge and say, hey, do you mind giving a official update on this or something along those lines? Because I think that would be very, very good. Looking at options, 70,000 in calls, 11,000 in puts. Like I've kind of mentioned in previous videos, with it at obviously 35 cents and change, there's not really much to go based on. Obviously any calls being purchased is very optimistic and very low dollar value, so you can kind of see some optimism for that, but it's not really much to analyze. Looking at the open interest though, you do see 25,000 at that 50-cent strike price. Even next week, so August the 2nd, you have 16,000 at that 50-cent strike price. and then 10,000 at that one. August 16th, that is the next monthly chain. So that one you do see a lot of volume. So 21,000 at that 50 and then 13 at that one. So if Faraday can get their stuff together and really push higher and maybe get the rubber stamp and compliance from the NASDAQ, then in theory, yes, you can definitely go up. And based on my last video, I just wanted to clarify. So someone said that it is 10 days and that I'm lying and misinformation. I have been the most open and transparent. Like I've said, I've dealt with this exact scenario multiple times. And I've even shown you the NASDAQ rulings, like probably a good dozen, if not more, videos. So it is between 10 and 20 consecutive trading days that Faraday needs to trade above $1 in order for the NASDAQ to give them the rubber stamp. So it needs to be between that time frame, not 10. It is not just 10. I can almost guarantee it because NASDAQ, they will determine Faraday's risk level. And based on Faraday's kind of previous history, it is fair to assume that they're going to choose 20. They could choose 15, but most likely it'll be 20. So that does mean they need to do the reverse stock split, if worst case scenario, by August the 2nd. So yeah, it is not 10 to those individuals, and I don't want to call them out, but yeah, I went back and forth with a couple individuals in the comment section on my last video, but yeah, it is most likely 20. So just do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So yeah, I think all in all, it should be a very interesting next couple of weeks, encumbering the upcoming shareholder meeting and many other things. So let me know your thoughts on Faraday. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Faraday? And do you think that, for instance, there is going to be a lawsuit that is prompted with Faraday against whoever's shorting it and stuff like that? Keep in mind, I believe it is Q3, possibly tail end of Q3, or if not Q4, that's when the new SEC transparency rule is going to be kicking in. So going forward into 13Fs, you are going to see institutions having to disclose their short position. Right now, 13Fs, the short position was voluntary if they wanted to disclose it. Only thing was longs. So it was very crappy, but this new transparency rule really should help stocks such as Faraday and maybe get the SEC involved on a lot more cases very commonly or whatever. But don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it, and they give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. Link in the description below and also the comments. So this is only up until July 31st, so take advantage of that while you can. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.